Yes sir, what is going on YouTube? It is your boy Denali, aka Don Squallion. In today's video, man, we are back at it with another Forza Horizon 5 build video, man. So if you guys can tell from the title of this video, we are in the new, I think this is a 2021, let me just double check here, 2020 Toyota GR Supra. Otherwise known as the BMW Supra. Very controversial vehicle that we're about to build right now, but I figured we'd kick off the Forza Horizon 5 builds with a banger. Obviously this car never before seen in any game that I've ever played before, so I'm looking forward to building this car, and I'm thinking we're probably going to do the new C8 as well as the Ford Bronco after this. So let me know if you guys have any other requests down in the comment section, but without further ado, I think the only thing left to do is jump into the upgrade shop here. So we're going to check out a couple of our conversion options. Now forgive me if I'm wrong, but I'm interested to see if they have the 2JZ Supra swap, which it looks like they do, the inline 6 turbo there. We've got a few other options here that aren't really going to work. Now I am almost compelled to put a 2JZ in here just for the clickbait aspect of it, but with that being said, I am pretty interested to see how this car performs with the stock motor with just a couple of modifications on it. So we're going to leave the engine the way that it is here. Drivetrain swap, obviously the classic Supra setup is a rear wheel drive, so we're going to go ahead and keep that here. Then we have the wide body HKS, the wide body kit here. Now normally I'd really be into doing the wide body kits, but this car, I mean, it already has a relatively wide body, some very wide, I guess you could call them hips on the back there. So I think we're going to keep the body kit the way that it is for now. We are, however, going to make a few modifications to the front end and the rear bumper here. Now, as you can see, we got the Toyota stock body kit on here already, and I'm not gonna lie, I do like the look of it. Now I do like the headlights with the squares as opposed to the oval. Looks like that LED strip runs a little bit longer with the stock bumper, but I think we're gonna stick with the Toyota Sport bumper on this one. Now I'm assuming this is a Toyota Sport wing, which it is. I'm leaning towards the HKS duckbill here. Now, for those of you guys who are subscribed to my other channel, I do have a G35. Went out of my way to build a duckbill trunk for that, so I think, dang, that wing is beefy. I think if we were doing wide body, the wing would be appropriate, but I think we're just going to stick the HKS duckbill spoiler on here for now. As far as the rear bumper goes, it does look like we have an upgraded rear diffuser with that center exit exhaust, and it looks like we have upgraded taillights as well with that bumper swap. And I'm not gonna lie, I do like it. I like the diffuser. I think it definitely suits this car, especially without the big wing here. And I'm assuming the side skirt's probably gonna be the same. Looks like we just have a vent on the front there, and that's about it. But yeah, what do you guys think, man? Keep it or keep it? Keep it or don't keep it, I should say. I think we're going to go ahead and keep it for the time being. Now comes the fun part. We're starting to get into wheels, tires. I do like this rim and tire setup, but I think we're going to get a little more grip here, and I think that's going to come from our slick race tire compound. Our off-road abilities do go down just a little bit compared to the stock tire, but that's okay because this is going to be predominantly a road vehicle anyways. So we are going to widen up the tires just for fun, just to say that we did, even though this car already comes with a relatively wide set of tires. We're going to beef those tires up just a little bit. Now comes the fun part, the wheels. I'm going to skim through a couple of my options, see what I find, and if I can find anything that I do like. Now these wheels already, the stock wheels that come on this thing, pretty impressive. I do like the look of them, but we're just going to skim through a couple of our other options, see if we can do something a little better here. Decided to go back and paint those wheels the OEM color so we could actually see what's going on. Now I did do a quick livery on this car. If you guys saw my my first video on this game, how to win millions. I did do a quick little livery to throw it up on the I guess like the auction house or whatever you want to call it for like car designs, just to make a few bucks here. So now that we got the wheels back to the OEM color, after skimming through a couple of our wheel options here, I believe this is a new wheel setup on here. I don't recall seeing this on any previous games. We're gonna go with the Rotiform WGR M's here. I do like the fact that they have a nice little concave to them. I think they're really going to suit this build once we get everything tied together. As far as installing spacers, it looks like we do already have a wheel spacer installed here, and I think that's going to be good. Let's check out the rear. Also has the rear installed already, so that's good. This was one of the free cars that you get with the game when you purchase it, so there are a couple of modifications on here already, as you can see. We are going to go ahead and upgrade the clutch. Now I'm going to leave the drivetrain the way that it is because I feel like the stock transmission, I don't know if it's like an 8-speed or something like that, I feel like this is going to do us pretty good. As far as the differential goes, we are going to upgrade it to a drift diff just for shits and giggles. Now I am noticing a couple of different options here. Like you have the sport diff, race diff, and then the rally diff and the drift diff are quite a bit different. I don't think I've seen those before in any previous Forza games. But now that we got that out of the way, it's time to hit up the brake and suspension shop here. Now we're going to go ahead and upgrade the brakes on here. As you can see, we lose the painted calipers, but there is an option to paint calipers here. Now we have a couple different drifts, a couple of different suspension setups here. We have the race spring and dampers, we have the rally springs, and then we have the drift springs. We do have, let's make this a drift build. I'm interested to see what this thing can do getting sideways here. Now with that said, we're going to check it out. We have our anti-roll bars, both front and back, already installed. As far as the cage goes, I think we're going to pass on the cage. I do want to keep this thing looking somewhat like a road car. And then we have the weight reduction already stage 2, and I'm pretty happy with that. I think that's going to suit this build just fine. Now comes the performance parts. Now it does look like we have an intake on here. Now one of the great things about this game is you can rev the car up when you're in the garage, and you can see how this car is going to sound with, let's say, the sport intake and the sport exhaust and stuff like that. So we're going to leave the intake the way that it is. The fuel system, we're going to leave the way that it is. We are, however, we already got camshafts installed on this thing, so that's decent. Now, as far as the exhaust goes, it looks like we already own the race exhaust here. But just to give you a comparison, as you can hear, each exhaust just slightly different. Now I did notice this with the 350Z that I purchased and built and owned, that this with a lot of cars, this sound changes dramatically. So what I think we're going to do is just upgrade this single turbo to just make some serious horsepower on this thing. Now that we got that out of the way, I'm pretty happy with the way that this turned out. Now we did have to make a purchase prior to repainting the wheels the OEM color. That was 17,000 credits. And then we have, I believe, another 17,000 credits here. So just over 30,000 credits. We did get the car for free, so that's a relatively modest build here, mostly cosmetic stuff, but we also upgraded the turbo a little bit, as well as the brakes and suspension. So next up comes the designs and paints. Now I almost am I'm almost compelled to put back on my my liveries here, which is the camouflage, but I think we're probably going to do something a little bit different here. Now I do like the blue paint, I just don't think that it suits this specific year of Supra. Now I really do like the OEM silver here. I don't know what you want to call it, gunmetal gray, sheer silver. I really like this paint job, so I think for the sake of this build, we're going to keep it somewhat simple and throw this paint on here. Now, as far as the hood goes, for those of you guys who know, the hood actually runs halfway down the side of the car here, as you can see. So a black or carbon fiber hood I don't think is really going to suit this build, so we're just going to go ahead and leave that the OEM color. Now, we also have the option to do the same for the spoiler, but as you can see, I'm assuming the duckbill is part of the car now, so that gets painted with the car, and we cannot actually change the color of it. Next up comes the wheels. Now, I do want to check out a few different options here, particularly my gold options. I do want to see how this is going to look with this color and the gold wheels. There's a good chance it's not going to look good at all. Now that I'm looking at this wheel with the rivets in it, they kind of don't really suit this build all that well. But now that we got the gold paint on here, you know what, I don't really necessarily mind that. As you can see, this is almost like a 15 or a 16 inch wheel multi-piece with an 18-inch lip. I've seen that done quite a bit recently, and I just not necessarily a huge fan of the way it looks. We might go back and change our wheel color now that we have decided what we're going to do as far as we might go back and change the wheel design now that we've figured out what we're going to do with the color. I'm going to go ahead and drop some black tint on this thing, and now that we got that out of the way, I'm pretty content with the way that this thing looks. So we're going to go ahead and save that to our current car right now. Now that we got that out of the way, I'm just going to go back and check out some wheel options. Now that we got these painted, like I say, not really too keen on this setup here. The OEM wheels look very good. I'm thinking we're going to do something without a lip, because I feel like just with the lip, and this not being a wide body doesn't really suit it that much. So after skimming through a couple different options, I think we're going to go with these Fisk Profile 55s here. Now, no option to change the overall wheel diameter, but I think these look much better than what we had on there before. Last but not least, we're going to throw some custom tuning on this thing. Now, the gearing, we didn't unlock the transmission, so the gearing is going to stay the way that it is. 8 gears on this thing, so I don't think we're going to have any problem with acceleration here. As far as our springs are absolutely slammed to the ground, which is pretty much what I was going to do. Wish it would look a little bit lower with it being slammed, but I know there is a little bit of a hack to do that with the rally springs and dampers, but it just makes me feel weird putting that a suspension setup on a car in a video that I'm doing for YouTube. Maybe we'll do a how-to video on how to slam your car. And it looks like we just unlocked the Goliath race, which I think is going to be something we're going to be doing here in order to make some fast cash here. But let's go ahead and close the map here and take this thing for a rip. Now, before we do, we're going to do a little bit of a walk around here. And now that we're doing our walk around, I'm really happy with the fact that we decided to switch up these wheels here. Somebody talking to me, like, bro, can you let me do my video here, please? Thank you. But let's do some revs now that we're out in the real world. Big old nasty burnout in front of that Forza Horizon grandstand there, and we're out of here, man. So really, the thing about this Supra that a lot of people don't like, obviously this was a joint venture with BMW. I think this was based off of like the not the X6, the BMW Z6 or something, Z6 maybe. Now this thing, obviously not your traditional Supra. I believe it only comes in automatic, no manual, which is a huge disappointment to big car fans like myself. But overall, I really do like the styling of this car. I talk smack on it like I'm ever going to be able to afford one, which I won't, just to let you guys know, unless this channel does really, really well and my other channel does really well. We're basically just going to be talking smack on a car that I'm never going to be able to buy. Now, with the setup that we have here, the drift tires and the drift suspension, drift differential, I'm thinking that might have been the wrong move here. I did like the way that this thing drove stock, but now with the drift setup, it just slides way too much, and I'm not really into it. Oh, looks like we got an XP board over here. We'll just slide off to grab that. We need as many XPs as we can get at this point. But yeah, I don't know, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not really feeling the drift setup on this thing, man. Like, maybe it's because I've been playing this game and trying to win a lot of races and stuff like that, so I'm geared more towards race cars. This car, as it sits right now, is completely unusable to me in any type of race. It's just all over the road. But I mean, if you guys are trying to do a drift build, I guess this is a pretty decent build here. Now we're gonna head up into the twisties here and see how this thing does on the wide open road. Very little traffic on the road today, which is definitely it's a nice change, especially when you're used to doing these builds and then having cars and traffic always smashing into you. It's a nice quiet day, man. It might be glitching out because I don't see any cars on the road right now. But when this thing isn't getting sideways, it's actually pretty enjoyable to drive. Coming up down these straightaways here, picking up a lot of speed. But yeah, definitely a car that I'm having fun driving. Oh, we missed another XP board right there. Just gonna do a quick U-turn and grab that. So now I'm not exactly sure in this game where the decent spots are to put the ends to these videos. Usually I like to go into a city area just to kind of have the backdrop and stuff like that, which is normally in the top right hand corner, but it looks like our downtown core now is probably just this little spot right here, which is not very big at all, but we're gonna fast travel there nonetheless. And I think, as we often do around this time, we are gonna put an end to this one. So if you guys did enjoy this video, don't forget to smash that like button. If you guys want to see more and you're not subscribed yet, definitely do so. Very pumped to have the new Forza Horizon 5 in my possession, and being able to make some videos on it. Obviously the Forza Horizon 4 videos, been doing them for quite some time. I don't even think there was a new Forza Motorsport that came out. Usually they do a new motorsport in between, each Horizon. But yeah, man, if you guys do have any requests, don't forget to let me know down in the comment section. And I'm thinking that's pretty much it. So with that being said, I'm your boy Denali, aka Don Squally. Whoops. And crashing into the wall there just for my finishing move. With that being said, I just want to say thank you guys for watching. We gotta catch up, mofos, at the next one, man. Peace. Don't die. Oh shit, where you going, bro? Don't be creeping on my friend. Don't be creeping on my friend. You and your homie. Oh, nut shot. Nut shot. Oh, buddy. Let's go. And your boy, man. Get him out of here. Oh, you fucking. Oh my god.